Hey guys, welcome back to Father Fragrance. We got another big time, heavy hitting hot weather fragrance coming at you today. Super excited to give you a full in-depth review on this bad boy right here. This is a fragrance I recently picked up in a decant, smelled it, fell in love, had to have it. Bought it in like a week after that, man. It was just had to be done, okay? Today we're gonna be looking at Sospiro Vibrato. So as always in Father Fragrance fashion, we're gonna do our 4-step process, baby. We're gonna be looking at first our presentation. We're gonna look at the scent profile. We're gonna look at the performance. We'll look at the price point. Those would be our 4 big factors we're gonna be checking out today. And then at the end of all that, I'm gonna take all of those things into consideration and I'm gonna give you a final rating out of 10. So without further ado, why don't we cue that intro and let's get it, baby. All right, so let's kick this thing right off, man. You know, when we start the presentation, we always start with the box. That's the first thing we're seeing. That's the first thing we're looking at today. So let's take a look. I took a little video here so you can see, like, on either side, it comes with this really cool, like, kind of golden stickers that keep it sealed so that it doesn't open up and your fragrance comes flying out or whatever. So it's pretty neat to see, but obviously you have to take those off to open it up, so I did. All right, so here we go. That's our box. That's the front side of it, Sospiro Vibrato. It's got this pretty purple color. The kind of house logo up top, it's really kind of nice, I think. Fragrance name down at the bottom. We got a 100 milliliter bottle today, eau de parfum, and that does it for the front. Pretty much the same across the sides, right? Like, as you can see, nothing too special. It's pretty much the same thing repeated through. Just a little logo at the side or the back end here. Underneath, we have fragrance information, pretty standard stuff. Lets you know the volume, percentage of the parfum itself, the different ingredients lists on there, batch code kind of stuff. Pretty standard things there. On the top, we just have the logo here, nothing special. Pretty box. There's it's not fancy at all. It's just good looking, right? And then, as you can see, he holds this little spot here. I always take the fragrance out of this for these videos because I'm afraid I'm gonna drop it because I can't really see what I'm doing, really. But yeah, so fragrance sits nicely in that little socket. All right, now for the bottle itself. Here we go. Let's get a nice up close, good look at this bad boy right here. So I think this is kind of a beautiful bottle, honestly. It's pretty unique. So as you can see, it has this kind of felt material on the outside of the bottle, and it's a really deep green color. I really enjoy that. So green's my favorite color, and the darker, like foresty greens, are particularly what I enjoy. And so this has clearly got that, right? You have the kind of the house logo with the name Vibrato right here. It might be tough with the light probably shining in there, but it says Vibrato here in green lettering, and it has it on this very nice, pretty gold logo, right? Underneath, still got that same kind of thing, batch code, volume, ingredients, all the above, normal stuff. And as you can see, that felt goes all the way through, all the way to the bottom, right? Pretty interesting. Then up on the top, you got the cap, right? So it's this really cool golden cap with the house logo on it. It also says, so I'll take this off. It also says Sospiro around the neck and the collar. It's all in gold here. This cap is nice and heavy. It's a really nice cap. It kind of squeaks when I pull it off though, sometimes, like if I twist, right? You hear that? So that's a little funky, but I love the nice heavy cap. It's very luxurious feeling, very luxurious looking. You're gonna need a microfiber cloth to keep that thing nice and shiny. It's worth it. This is a beautiful bottle, I think. All right, that wraps this up for presentation. I think it's really nice. All right, now it's time for the most important part of any fragrance review, and that means it's juice time. Let's go ahead and talk about the scent profile. Let's see what this thing smells like and whether that juice is worth the squeeze, all right? So as always, I'm gonna grab a tester strip. I'll spray it directly onto that. Immediately smell that so I can get the opening and let you know what I'm smelling from there. Discuss those, and then as it dries down, I'm gonna return to it, let you know what I'm smelling as we go, all right? Then we'll go ahead and look at the note chart, and we'll get the different notes that are actually included in this fragrance as well and discuss that. All right, enough talking, time to start spraying and start smelling. Let's go. Here we go, let's test the atomizer out too while we're at it. So let's go ahead, I'll get nice and close, we'll see what this is all about. Yeah, so pretty nice atomizer. Not incredible, but definitely nice. Oh man, come on, dude. Come on, man. Guys, listen to me. Come on, come on, can you smell it? Come here. Get your nose up on this thing and can you smell that, dude? Can you smell it through the phone? I wish you could. Y'all, whew. My gosh, this is a zingy citrus explosion, man. Oh, but it's beautiful citrus. It's not that cleaner, gross stuff, you get in some of these like cheaper fragrances. That is gorgeous, bro. Oh my gosh. You also get in like a gingery kind of spice on there too. So it makes like this, you get like a zest out of it. Now, as far as I know, you're not supposed to say zesty anymore or something like that. I think it's a Gen Z thing. It means something completely different now. So I just say zest. It's got a citrusy zest on it, okay? Man, and as it's like drying down, it's like fizzy soda kind of like stuff on there too. Like a lemon lime kind of citrus soda, right? Because there's almost like a fizziness with that zest that comes from, I swear it's ginger. Man, that is so good. It's delicious, man. And you're getting like, we'll get into this a little more. I know there's like a kind of a powder note that is, recorded in there. And some people think that it's like overt. Other people say they can't smell it all. To me, it's a backing note. Like it's just kind of in the background that elevates this fragrance into a more sophisticated, elevated fragrance. And very well-rounded because of it, okay? And as it continues to dry down, there's like ambery notes as well, some spices that are coming through. But really the star of the show, citrus and ginger right here. What a beautiful combination. And then when you have that like tiny bit of like talcum powder in the back, it just feels like a rich fragrance, just rich. And the more it dries down, the more you get some like woody notes in there too, okay? It makes it feel pretty masculine. Now this is technically a unisex fragrance, but to me, this is a pretty masculine scent. Like I mean, I know for a fact my wife wouldn't wear this. She's already told me she wouldn't wear this. I've offered it to her and she's like, I don't think so. She likes the way it smells on me. That's also a plus, right? Yeah, I don't know I think this is a pretty masculine fragrance, even though it's considered unisex. It's also often compared to Tiger from Bulgari, right? They do smell alike, especially because they're both doing that like citrus ginger thing. But I think this is actually a more sophisticated fragrance and a little more well-rounded. And it actually it smells like higher quality, even though it's significantly cheaper. We'll talk about the pricing here at the end. If this was inspired by it, which probably there's a good chance it was, or at least that it kind of borrows from that DNA, but I think it improves on it. So regardless of whether they tried to do that or not, at the end of the day, they do smell quite different to me. And this is, it feels a little more sophisticated and less synthetic actually. So let's go ahead and jump into the note breakdown then. All right, so our top notes, we have grapefruit, bergamot, jasmine, magnolia. The citrus I've already covered. Pretty obvious, especially grapefruit. That's the most clear note in this entire fragrance, probably from start to finish. The florals, not so much. Like I guess they're probably there, more of a rounding. I don't pick up a ton of florals though. Our mid notes, ginger, powdery notes, and it looks like herbal notes as well. I've already mentioned ginger, I smell immediately. Powder, that's in the background. You have to like kind of find it. In my opinion, you gotta go look for it to get it. But it's, kind of a backing thing. The herbal stuff, I didn't really smell towards closer to the end, including some like wood stuff too, right? It's there, but not a ton. And then our base notes, we have musk, cedar, amber, patchouli, and orris root, which is like iris, right? So that has some powdery notes in it as well. That's probably where you're getting some of that. The musk, right, and amber, it does help round it out. You do get it at the end, but really what comes more forward towards the end is like more woody notes, which is where that cedar comes in, right? And you know me, I like to paint a picture. For me, this is like just almost like a fresh like citrus soda, right? But in a really elevated, sophisticated fragrance form. It's like when you say a citrus fizzy soda, I just don't know how else to put it. It just kind of has that, but it smells like a perfume, right? Like a real fragrance that you would wear. It's not like syrupy, sugary or anything like that. So it's just the best thing I can come up with. It's like just a citrus ginger explosion of beauty. Man, this stuff smells divine. It smells so good. Okay, so what are we gonna rate it on scent? So on scent alone, man, this stuff is top notch. We're gonna go no less than 9 out of 10 sniffs on that thing. It's probably a closer to a 10. In fact, I don't know if I've smelled like a purely summer spring fragrance and enjoyed it more than this one, if I'm being honest with you. That's how good this is to me. So we're just gonna go ahead and give it a 10, man. This thing's so good. Big time compliment getter. People are gonna ask you what you're wearing. Whenever I've got this on, people are always, oh my gosh, you smell nice. Wow, wow. I wore this to church like a week or two ago and I was getting stopped all the time. So this is definitely gonna get some help in that compliment pulling area too. So this thing smells so good. It really does, guys. All right, next up we have performance. This is probably the second most important thing, in my opinion, for a fragrance, right? I've worn this a handful of times now, and it's been hard not to, because I already just told you I love the way this thing smells. But I've worn it a few times now, and I've worn it enough times to know and say with near certainty that on basically anyone, this thing is a performance monster, dude. I am not joking around when I tell you that this thing performs all day. So your projection is always there. But the crazier part, because of what this is, a fresh citrus fragrance, the longevity on this is mind-boggling. In fact, it's almost too much, to be honest with you, man. Like I told you I wore it to church the other day, and I sprayed it. You know, I like to spray my collarbone area up around my neck and stuff, and I was wearing a collared shirt. I washed that shirt and pulled it out of the laundry, and it still had some of Vibrato's beautiful citrus and ginger just kind of lifting up and wafting up off the neck when I was putting it away and hanging it back up in my closet. That is how heavily this thing performs. It's an actual beast. It's not like YouTube influencer hype beast performance. This thing absolutely, for real, does perform like a monster, okay? That goes for both longevity and projection. Like, you can spray this a few times and you will create a scent bubble that is large enough to, you know, within a few feet of people, they're gonna know this. You walk past them, the sillage, bro, this thing is just creating that, like, apple, you know, that cartoon apple pie. You know what I'm talking about, when them people are like floating with their head, like eyes closed, it smells good, and they're floating along the scent trail. That's what happens with Vibrato, dude. You wear this, you got one of them things on you. You might have folks floating behind you, trying to catch you with it. Hey, what you got on, man? This stuff is a monster on that front, okay? So honestly, I don't know what else to say about that. Like, it really does perform well. So this is an easy one. Projection or performance, this is 10 out of 10, no question, not even a little bit of a reservation in saying that. I'm not like, oh, maybe, no, this is a 10 out of 10 on performance for sure. Monstrous. All right, last thing we're talking about is price. You guys know how I feel about price. How can we know that it's worth it without knowing how much it actually costs? So with this one here, I think it retails for like $260, something like that, $250, $260, somewhere in there. But again, we're not buying this stuff retail, we're going to discounters. And so for discounters, I've seen it marked anywhere from, like, on the absolute low end, like $150, up to about $200. I would say 160 to 170 is probably what I've mostly seen it go for on like a really good time, at least currently right now as I'm filming this. I know like last year this stuff was quite a bit more money. On my group I like to go to and buy fragrances and decants and stuff on Fragrance Marketplace on Facebook. I've seen them go for like 150, you know, right kind of in there, 160, that ballpark. So that's kind of what you're looking at. When you compare that price to some of the people or some of the other fragrances that it's compared to, which is typically Bulgari's Tiger, like I mentioned already. Louis Vuitton L'Immensity is another one that people talk about. I don't really see they don't really smell alike to me, but they do kind of try to do the same thing. It's that citrus and ginger spiced kind of thing. Those are like significantly more money, like a lot more, to be honest with you. And I think that this thing smells better than those, performs better than those. So the only other one is the Tarathi Blue from Afnan, which is an actual Bulgari Tiger like clone, right? And that one's quite a bit cheaper. I think this smells better than that though. So at 150, 160, that's expensive, right? For most people, when you hear that, you're like, oh, that's kind of a lot of money. For fragrance collectors, they're probably like, yeah, that's pretty normal. It's pretty standard. I'm fine with that, right? To me, it is a good price for what this is. To me, it's among the best, maybe not, you know, ever summer fragrances I've ever smelled in my life. I'm totally willing to spend that money on this, and so that's how I ended up with it. But it is still a higher price, so I'm gonna go ahead and give this like an 8 out of 10, even though I do think it's very fairly priced. It's just not like a steal, you know what I'm saying? So I would say 8 out of 10 on that front. All right, now that we've gone through our presentation, our scent profile, our performance, and our pricing, what is this all gonna boil down to when we get it all together? It all comes down to this. We're about to find out. Based on what I just told you about that scent profile and the performance together, I think you already know. I'm about to tell you that I think this fragrance is a masterpiece, y'all. I do. I really think that this thing is as good as any summer, spring fragrance that money can get you currently today. in summer, spring of 2025. I'm dead serious. I'm not just gassing this thing up. That is how much I like this fragrance. I think it is amazing. This is one of the very few fragrances I've ever got my hands on that was super hyped up, that was absolutely worth it. I'm not trying to blow up your expectations for this thing. I really am not. I'm afraid to like overstate it. But the fact of the matter is, I think it's so good that it's very difficult for me to actually do that. I'm dead serious. I really am not making jokes or anything. This thing is so good. You gotta get a decan of this, sample it, see if I'm wrong. I don't think I am. I really think this is that good. So obviously 10 out of 10 on this fragrance. It is a masterpiece. This thing is awesome. Thank you guys again so much for watching another review of Father Fragrance. I've been Tyler. I really hope you had a good time enjoying this. And if you didn't, I'm sorry about that, but I'm very happy you stuck around this long to see this. With that being said, let me know if you thought that my review was good, bad, crazy, ugly, or you thought I was nuts for rating this the way I did. If there's a fragrance you want to see me review soon, or if there's some particular kind of content you'd like to see me do, please let me know down in the comments. I would love to get your feedback so I can keep making this channel better every single video. Why don't you let me know what your favorite summer and spring fragrance is down in that comments as well. That way I know of some new ones that I gotta go ahead and check out myself. If you thought this review was good, give me a like. If you wanna see more stuff, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. In the meantime, I can't wait to see you guys next time. You already know what time it is. Stay smelly, y'all.